Alright, and hello everyone, it is me, Jay Burns, and in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this bracelet right here. This bracelet is my own original design, and it is called the Caged Butterfly Bracelet. Now, this bracelet is very similar to some other designs of mine, and they are the Hidden Garden bracelet, and the Locked Hearts bracelet. And the Locked Heart bracelet is the very first bracelet that I ever created, and just a little fun fact. But anyway, I will have links to both tutorials for the Hidden Garden and Locked Heart bracelet in the description if you would like to try and make those. Alright, anyway, to make the Caged Butterfly bracelet, you're going to need a loom, just an ordinary loom like a rainbow loom. You're going to need a hook. Any hook will work for this bracelet. I'm just going to be using this metal tipped hook. And you will also need a clip. And any clip that is for rubber band bracelets will work. Alright. Not only will you need those things, but you will also need rubber bands, and there are two groups. And I'll explain what they each are. So the A group, the A rubber bands, they are going to be all the rubber bands that you use for your butterfly, including these two black rubber bands in the example. So every rubber band on this bracelet that is used to make the butterfly, so these purple, blue, and then the black, that is all your A color bands. Your B color rubber bands are the rest of the bracelet, and they're the 3 single chains that make up the bracelet. And the B rubber bands also include your cap band and the last rubber band in the bracelet. You will also need additional B color rubber bands to make yourself an extension, and yeah. So go ahead and use the pause button to get the supplies you need. The number of rubber bands you'll need is going to be down in the description, and yeah, so go ahead and get your supplies. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Alright, so to begin making your bracelet, you're going to want to have the arrow on your loom pointing away from you. And you're also going to start by getting all of your B color bands. Alright, so to begin, you're going to take a B color rubber band, and we're going to start here on this first middle pin, and we're going to place this B color rubber band going out to the left, like so. Now, you're going to need another B color rubber band, and we're going to place it going vertically up the left side here, from this first left pin to the second left pin. Now we're going to get another B color rubber band and continue this little chain we're starting, placing it going from this second left pin to this third left pin. Then we'll get another B color rubber band and place it going vertically up here on the left side from this third left pin to this fourth left pin, and we're just going to go ahead and continue this chain going all the way up the left side of our loom. And yeah, so with B color rubber bands, just continue this chain going all the way up the left side of your loom, but you're going to stop when you get to the second to the last left pin. You're not going to place a band going here, so I'll show you when I get there. So just go ahead and continue. Use the pause button if you need to. Alright, so you just place a chain of B color bands going up the left side of the loom, and you stop when you get to the second to the last left pin. You don't place it on this last left pin here. Alright, so once you get to this point, you're just going to get one more B color rubber band and place it going inwards to the middle, like this. So inwards to the last middle pin. Now we're going to return to the beginning of our loom, and we're going to do the exact same thing here on the right side. So we're going to get a B color rubber band and start on this first middle pin and then go outwards to the right. Now we're going to get another B color rubber band and we're going to place it vertically going up the right side. So from this first right pin to the second right pin. Then you're going to need another B color rubber band and place it going vertically up from the second right pin to this third right pin. And just like on the left, we're going to place a chain of B color rubber bands going up the right side of our loom. And we'll stop when we get to this second to the last right pin. So just go ahead and continue. Use the pause button if you need to. Alright, make sure you push down your bands. So once you get to the second to the last right pin, you get another B color band and place it going inwards from that pin to the last middle pin. Alright, now we're going to come back to the beginning of our loom again, and we're going to need the rest of our B color bands. And we're also going to need 2 of our A color rubber bands. And these 2 A color bands are going to be the little body on the butterfly. And they're black in this example. And before we place any rubber bands here in this middle pin bar, except for these and these, we need to find the middle space for the rubber bands. So the middle space on our loom. So I'll show you what I mean. So as you can see, the butterfly is centered here in the middle of the bracelet. I'm going to be showing you how you find the center of your loom so it can be in the middle of your bracelet. Alright, so let's figure this out. Push these bands out of the way. You're going to have your hand on the first pin on one side of your loom, and then your other hand on the other side of your loom, so in the middle pin bar, like this. And what we're going to do is we're just going to move them both towards the center of the loom. So from over here, we move closer a pin, and then over here, we do the same. Then over here, move closer, do the same on the other side. And you should be doing this at the same time. It's kind of hard to show you doing it at the same time because there's not enough space. But anyway. Then again, move closer, then move closer, and move closer, and then move closer. And then, once your fingers meet on a pin or on 2 pins, so we were like that, I was like this, now we're here on this middle pin here. Once you find where your fingers will meet or will be like this, because some people don't have the same number of pins as a rainbow loom, so some of you might have 2 pins like this, and that's actually what you want. If you have a rainbow loom or a loom like it and your fingers meet on 1 pin, what you're going to do is you're going to just choose either this space to the left or this space to the right. It doesn't matter, you get to choose which space you use. But if you have your fingers and they meet at like 2 pins like this, the space in between those 2 pins is where your B color or your A color rubber bands are going to be. So you need to remember this spot here. Now if you have a rainbow loom and your fingers meet on 1 pin, you can either use this space or you can use this space. And I'm going to be using the further away space. So anyway. So everybody remember where that space is. If you need to put a rubber band there so you can remember, then go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do that actually. There you go. That's marking where my space is. Alright. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place the bands we need for the middle row. We're going to get our B color bands and our 2 A color bands. And we're going to start here on this first middle pin. On this first middle pin. Arrow pointing away still. and we're going to place our first B color band going vertically up the middle pin bar, first middle pin to second middle pin. Then get another B color band, place it going vertically up from the second middle pin to the third middle pin, and we're just going to place a chain of B color bands going up the middle pin bar until we get to the first pin where our space for our butterfly is going to be. So it would be this pin for me. So just go ahead and place the chain that you need. Alright, so you just place this little single chain of B color bands going up to the space where your butterfly is going to be. And I need to take this rubber band off now. And once you get to that space, you're going to take both of your A color bands that will be acting as the little body, so the black bands, and you're just going to place them going across the next two pins like that. And that's all you got to do for that. Now you just need to place the rest of your B color bands going up the rest of the way on your, or on this middle pin bar. So just continue the chain like normal. And now, once you finish this chain, it should stop here on this very last middle pin. And once you get to that point, make sure you push down your bands. Now we're going to add our A color rubber bands, which will be the wings, so the rest of your A color bands. And yeah, so to add them, you're going to turn your loom around so that the arrow is now pointing towards you. And what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these A color bands and we're going to place it on this pin here. So you have your A color bands, these two here, and it's stretched across two pins. This pin that's higher up your loom than the other one, so arrow's pointing towards you. This pin here that is further away from you is where you're going to be placing all the rest of your A color bands. So you're going to take this A color rubber band, you're going to place it on that middle pin and then stretch it down like that, and then we're going to stretch it down even further like that. So here's what you should have on your loom, and you should have also stretched this band outwards to the left. Right, for the right, it's the same. From the same middle pin here, you're going to take an A color band, stretch it outwards to the right, downwards like that. Then you're going to pull the band back further to the previous right pin, and you should have something like this here on your loom. Hopefully you guys can see that. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to place the last two, and to place them, it's from the same middle pin we've been placing all of our A color bands. We're going to take it and we're going to stretch it outwards and upwards to the left, and then we're going to stretch this rubber band down one pin, so you create a nice little triangle there. Then we're going to do the same thing on the right. Take an A color band, stretch it from this same middle pin outwards and upwards to the right, and then we're going to pull this band back a pin here on the right. And now you should have something like this on your loom. And once you do, now it is time to loom. So now you're going to need your hook and a B color rubber band, one of the last two you should have for the bracelet. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So make sure the arrow on your loom is still pointing towards you. And first we're going to deal with this B color band here. So what we're going to do with it is we're going to make it into a cap band. And to do that, we're going to take the rubber band, twist it into an 8 or infinity shape like so, and fold it like a book back on top of itself. Now it should look like you have 2 little rubber bands instead of 1. That's your cap band. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take this cap band and we're going to place it on this first middle pin. Now we're going to get our hook and we're going to start looming. So to begin looming actually, we're going to take our hook, go into this first middle pin where we just placed our cap band, grab the very top band underneath, and that should be a rubber band coming from this middle row here. So you pick up that band and it should be coming from this middle row. So you go ahead and loom it towards wherever it's coming from. Now here in the middle we just grab this bottom band on this next middle pin and then loom it forwards. Then here on this next middle pin we just go into the pin, grab the bottom band, loom it forwards. And you're just going to do this all the way up until you get to the A color bands that will be acting as the body. So just grab the bottom band, loom it forwards. Next pin, grab the bottom band, loom it forwards. Alright, so now I have reached the pin where I have my 2 A color bands. Looming here is the same. You just go down into this middle pin, grab those 2 bottom bands, so grab both of them, and loom them forwards to the next middle pin. And this next middle pin that you loom these 2 A color bands towards, you should have the rest of your A color bands on that middle pin. So that's how you can check and make sure you placed your wing bands correctly. Alright, once you get to this pin, looming the rubber band here on this middle pin here is the most difficult, but hopefully it won't be too much of a challenge for anybody. All you have to do is just take your hook, go into that middle pin, and pull back all of those A color bands, so that way you can get down and grab that B color band at the very bottom. And then you're just going to carefully loom it forwards to the next middle pin. Now all you're going to do is just loom the rubber bands, going all the way up this middle pin bar, and you're going to stop when you get to this last middle pin. So just go in, grab the bottom band, loom it forwards. Alright, so just use the pause button if you need to, if I'm going too fast. But once you get to this last middle pin here, we're going to return to the beginning of our loom, and we're going to loom the other 2 sides of the bracelet. So first you're going to get your hook again, pull back this cap band again, grab the very top band underneath, and this B color band that we just grabbed should be coming from the left, so that's where we're going to loom this rubber band. And now that we're over here on the left, we're going to take our hook, pull back these top A or B color bands here that are in the way, grab this very bottom B color band and loom it forwards to the next left pin. And just like in the middle row, you just go into that next left pin, grab the bottom band and loom it forwards. And you just do that until you get to an A color rubber band here on the left side. Alright, so here I have an A color rubber band, and it's on this left pin here. Well, all you have to do is just go in, pull back that A color rubber band, and grab the bottom B color band there, and loom it forwards. So if you ever run into any A color rubber bands when you're looming, just go into that pin and pull them back and grab the B color band. So from now on, only B color rubber bands should be getting loomed forwards. So just go ahead and loom the rest of the left side here. Use the pause button if you need to. And you're going to stop looming here on the left side once you get to this last left pin. And once you get to this last left pin, you should have this rubber band here, this B color band, that goes inwards to the middle. You're going to go ahead and loom that. Just going to go in to that last left pin there, grab that bottom B color band, and loom it inwards. Once you have done that, you're going to return to the beginning of your loom again, and we're going to loom the last side, the right side of the bracelet. So, once again, go into this first middle pin with your cap band and pull it back. Grab the bottom band there and loom it outwards to the right. And looming here on the right side of the bracelet is going to be the exact same as on the left. So I won't do too much explaining for this side. Just pull back any rubber bands that are on top, and then loom the bottom band, the B color band, forwards. So remember that when you run into A color bands, but just go ahead and loom the right side of your bracelet. Use the pause button if you need to. And just like before, once you get to the last right pin here, you're just going to loom this rubber band that goes inwards from the right to the center. Grab that bottom B color band and loom it inwards. Alright, so make sure you check and make sure you go back and check and make sure all your bands are loomed, so you didn't leave anything. And once you have checked and everything has been loomed, now it's time to take your bracelet off of your loom. So you're still going to need your hook, and you're going to need your last B color rubber band that you'll need for the bracelet. And yeah. So, with the arrow still pointing towards you, what we're going to do is we're going to start down here on the end with our cap band. We're going to use our hook and just pull the bands off of each pin with our hook, slowly making our way down our loom, like I was just doing. And we're going to continue, we're just going to pull all these bands off with our hook, and we're going to pull them all off, except for these rubber bands here on this last middle pin. Do not take these rubber bands off, you will need them, so leave the rubber bands on this last middle pin here. And when you get to your butterfly, it'll be a little bit more difficult to pull off the bands, but you'll just do the same thing there as you would the rest of the bracelet. Right? So now you should have your bracelet here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take these rubber bands here on this last middle pin off. And to do that, you're going to take your hook and stick it going down through this last middle pin. Make sure it's down far enough so that when you have your hook out to the side like this, it catches all of the rubber bands here on this pin. Now you're going to take your last B color band, put it on your hook like so, and slide your hook back through, and make sure when it comes out the other side, this is the only rubber band that's still on your hook. Then you're going to put the other end of the new band onto your hook like this, and once it's on there, you can just pull all these bands off of that last middle pin. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make an extension for our bracelet, because most likely this is not long enough to fit around your wrist. So you do not need your loom anymore. I'm going to show you how you make an extension with just your hook. So you're going to go ahead and get some extra bee color bands, or whatever color you want to use. You're also going to want to have your clip nearby, and yeah. So to make an extension for this bracelet on your hook, all you do is you take a bee color rubber band, or whatever color, put it on your hook like so, and then slide all these bands that are already on your hook onto the new rubber band. Once they're on, you put the other end of the new rubber band onto your hook, and now you've added another link to your extension. So I'll go ahead and show you again. Take a bee color or whatever color band you want, put it on your hook like so, slide all the bands that are already on your hook onto the new one, and then put the other end of the new rubber band onto your hook. So that's how you make an extension for your bracelet with just a hook. Just continue that over and over until you've made your extension long enough so your bracelet will fit around your wrist. So I'm going to go ahead and continue as well. Use the pause button if you need to. Alright, so there we go. I have now made my extension long enough so that my bracelet will fit around my wrist. And what you're going to do once that is true for you as well is you're going to get your clip. So once you've gotten your clip, you're going to attach it to this rubber band that's here on your hook. And it's easier if you just kind of pull down on the chain and make this band stretched out a little bit. And then take your clip, put it on like this, and once it's on, you can take the rubber band off of your hook, and you don't need your hook anymore. Now you're going to attach your clip to your cap band on the other end of your bracelet, and it should be this circular rubber band here. You take your clip and just put it on there. That was easy for me. And once your clip is on both ends of your bracelet, well, now you have your bracelet, so you can go ahead and put it on. And bam. So as you can see here, I am now wearing my caged butterfly bracelet, and hopefully you're as well. Now it's time for the outro. So, I would like to thank you for watching my tutorial. Hopefully showed you how to make the caged butterfly bracelet successfully. And hopefully now you are wearing your bracelet and enjoying it. It gets kind of cool and stuff. And if you like this bracelet, you may also like my hidden garden bracelet, which is a flower in the center, and my locked heart bracelet, which is a heart in the center. So yeah, I'll have links to both of those tutorials in the description if you would like to try those. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. That's all I have to say, other than thanks for watching, and bye!